What off-strip resort is as steeped in history as any and cited as the model for what came after? A place where high-tech connections are right out front, where glitz and glamour still live on the casino floor, and where the king sold out hundreds of performances? Well, today we call it the Westgate.
And the Westgate is celebrating Elvis's 90th birthday all year with all kinds of fun tributes.
So get ready, because this adventure starts right now.
Driving up Paradise Road in Las Vegas, you get a totally different vibe from the Strip less than half a mile west of here. Paradise is all business, lots of hotels without casinos. Coming up on our right is the reason for that. The Las Vegas Convention Center, one of the largest in the world at 2.5 million square feet and one of the busiest. And in a very direct way, it is also the reason the resort we are visiting today exists. Back in the late 1960s, Kirk Kerkorian thought it would be a great idea to build a hotel right next door. All right, let's go visit the Westgate Resort. The Westgate has had a few incarnations since it first opened in 1969. First, the International. Over 40 years as the Las Vegas Hilton, and briefly as LVH. The Y-shaped towers house nearly 3,000 rooms on 30 floors, part of them timeshare units. Westgate Resorts is a big name in the timeshare business. Speaking of big, out front is the marquee. At 297 feet, it is the world's tallest freestanding advertising sign. You surely noticed the track running up Paradise as we drove in. That's the Las Vegas Monorail, and it has a stop right out front of the Westgate. When it was being proposed in the early 2000s, Hilton was a leader in supporting the project. The train was traveling north from the convention center, and when it leaves, it goes to the Sahara, the northernmost stop on the route. The monorail isn't your only option, though. The Westgate is also a new stop on the Vegas Loop, the underground transportation system using Teslas that connects the convention center with the resorts. With those options, being off the Strip isn't an issue. And honestly, my friends, you can just walk to the convention center. All right, it's time for us to walk in and see what there is to love about Westgate. This is a big part of it in 2025. We'll be back here very shortly. Westgate took ownership of this property in 2014, and clearly they've taken good care of it. That signature crystal is as gorgeous as ever.
Well, hello and good morning, my friends. We're going to do this a little bit backwards today. I got a later start than normal, and I haven't had any tea or breakfast yet. So rather than doing my reward after I've walked the resort, I'm going to do it first. I am at Sid's Cafe, I think about 10:15 in the morning on a Tuesday. We're going to walk all over the Westgate. We're going to talk about all the great things about this fabled and famed hotel. But first, we're going to have some breakfast. I went for decadent today. You'll see that in a minute.
Sid's is the Westgate's breakfast and lunch cafe, open daily from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. The atmosphere is bright. The cooking is home style. The lighting fixtures are magnificent, and the place is a lot bigger than it appears at first glance.
All right, friends, get a load of this. I went for French toast today. It has blueberry compote, some kind of a lemon something on it. And Marie, my lovely waitress, she's a toucher. She even practically hugged me. She gave me some syrup on the side, but said, be sure to taste it first because it's already pretty sweet. So I haven't put any syrup on. Let's have a bite. And actually, I need to scoop up some of this berry as well. Wow. It's breakfast, but it's also an ice cream sundae. Something about the blueberry compote and the lemon makes me think of ice cream. Really refreshing. All right, just for comparison, let's do a little syrup on a piece. Let's check this out. There's something crunchy in the blueberries. I'm not sure if there's a little bit of granola. I don't know. Wow, good. Fabulous.
Makes me happy.
So the syrup mixes with the lemon. I don't hate it. That's really good too. I would clearly not eat this whole plate of food, especially if I expect to walk this whole place with any kind of stamina. I'm going to enjoy my French toast. I love the service in here, not to mention that crystal chandelier. Beautiful room.
Let's talk about Elvis. This year would have been the King's 90th birthday, and since right here is where his famous sold-out residency happened, the Westgate is celebrating all year. This mini museum features precious photos and memories, cufflinks, and RCA Victor belt buckle. The vinyl recording of That's All Right Mama is here. There are a couple of movie posters, keepsakes from his Army days, and the shoes he wore in his final show at the Hilton. Just a few steps from the display case is the Westgate's main lobby and front desk, and the notorious statue of Elvis that was unveiled just a year after he passed. In case you don't know the history, Elvis Presley was hired in 1969 before the International was even finished for a 4-week engagement in the showroom. It was such a sensation, such a huge success, that he was immediately signed to a 5-year contract, and he stayed there through 1976. Elvis lives on here at the Westgate. 5 nights a week, the Cabaret Theater presents The King Comes Home, featuring 4 talented singers recreating moments from his career. On the anniversary of his first performance here, July 31st, famed Elvis tribute artist Travis Powell, accompanied by a live band and backup singers, will recreate the exact set list from that very first concert. And for a whole week in July, Elvis from around the world will perform in the showroom and on the International Bar stage. What a great week to be in Las Vegas. Can't wait that long? Well, we just learned that Alexis Park Resort over there on Harmon and Paradise, just across the street from the Virgin Hotel, is hosting an Elvis festival at the end of this month. From May 29th to June 1st, award-winning Elvis tribute artists take the stage at Alexis Park. Grab your white jumpsuit and get your tickets right now. All right, in the immortal words of Elvis, time to TCB, take care of business. Back to the Westgate and a couple other venues off the main lobby. The gift shop is a big one, offering a varied selection of merchandise from apparel to fun souvenirs to adult beverages. Viva Coffee and Espresso has a long counter across from the lobby and is the resort's 24/7 spot for Starbucks coffee and grab-and-go items. The new Velvet Bar is an ode to Kirk Kerkorian. Velvet is the fabric of royalty, and he always wanted his guests to be treated like royalty. Velvet is open at 7 a.m. for cocktails and actually butts up against the casino. This property has really stood the test of time. The Westgate Casino is 95,000 square feet, easy to navigate, and is updated with all the modern slots. Since it opened 56 years ago as the International, it has been widely credited as the first Las Vegas mega resort. A casino, entertainment, retail, hotel complex, all under one roof. This design became the model for the resorts that were built after it. The WOW Rewards program is a robust one, offering gift giveaways, free slot play, and slot tournaments. But when you want to talk about vintage Vegas and things you hope will never change, you have to include the tables area here. Those magnificent crystal chandeliers have always been a beloved design element of this property, no matter what name is out front. The sportsbook at Westgate Las Vegas has long held the distinction of being the largest in the world. Perhaps Circa has beaten that, not quite sure, but nevertheless this place is a classic. The odds set here are referenced everywhere in the sports betting world. The statue of famed racehorse Man of War sits proudly in the center of the sportsbook. The sportsbook sweeps around a massive wall of TV screens. It opened back in 1986 at a cost of $17 million. Along the rear is the poker room. And a convenient food court where you'll find a pizza joint and a bar and grill. Not to mention a fantastic spot to watch live sports as you enjoy your meal. If Elvis defined entertainment in the International Showroom in the 1970s, this guy is defining it in the 21st century. Barry Manilow first took the Hilton stage in 2005 and since 2018 has had a successful ongoing residency. And get this, the guy is in his 80s. The gift shop is open today, so let's go take a look. Fans, and we mean fans for decades since his piano playing days, can purchase Manilow music, t-shirts with meaningful lyrics, drinkware, and even the wine to put in it. The show takes the audience through the incredibly prolific career of Barry Manilow, who's garnered 50 top 40 hits and over 85 million albums sold. Plus, I heard he's a really nice guy as well.
My high school had an orchestra class in it, and that orchestra class changed my life. I wasn't very good at sports, so it wasn't going to be that. And I wasn't going to join a gang. Can you imagine me joining a gang? So I joined the orchestra. And I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't be standing on this stage tonight if I hadn't joined that orchestra back in Brooklyn, New York.
One thing we really appreciate about the Westgate is how they honor the iconic entertainers of the past with large framed black and white photos throughout the public areas. These talents deserve to be remembered. The showroom seats 1,600, but that's not the only concert venue on the property. The Cabaret is more intimate with 400 seats. In here, besides the Elvis show we mentioned earlier, are a magic show and a Motown tribute. Now this, my friends, warms my ever-loving ex-lounge singer heart. The International Bar here at the front of the casino near the main doors offers live entertainment on stage every night with the classic Vegas 2-drink minimum that we all know and love. The weekly lineup is promoted up there on the screen or, of course, on the Westgate website. Keep this in mind for a bit of old Vegas. So, of course, the Westgate Resort offers more food choices than a coffee shop. In fact, there are 13 restaurants on property. Our favorite is another classic from a bygone era, Benihana Village. First opened in 1974, it is now home to 3 eateries. Riki Tiki Sushi offers authentic Japanese sushi, artistic creations, and traditional favorites. Silk Road Asian Bistro blends 3 genres of Asian cooking: Japanese and Chinese ramen noodles, along with Vietnamese pho. And of course, the original Benihana, with its tableside teppanyaki grill and chefs with flair. We absolutely love this place. Okay, a quick mention of 2 other dining options in this wing. Fresco Italiano is open for dinner, proudly offering Italian cuisine with an emphasis on freshness and simplicity. We're also fond of this charming picture spot, straight out of a little village in the old country. If you're an unashamed carnivore, you are going to want to try the award-winning American Steakhouse menu at Edge Steakhouse. They offer top-quality wet and dry aged prime cuts of beef along with other specialties in an elegant setting. Now, if you find yourself walking through the north wing to or from the parking garage, there's a handy spot to get a bite to eat on this far end of things as well. It's called the Marketplace, home to Loco Bueno tacos. The decor is on point. The menu looks terrific, and so do those plates. Couple more items before we wrap things up. We mentioned earlier that Westgate is also a timeshare. In fact, Westgate Resorts is the largest timeshare resort company in the world if you're in the market. And even though it's adjacent to the convention center, this property has 225,000 square feet of conference space of its own on site. There's a handy FedEx office. And that great Vegas Loop service for the business travelers. If you happen to be visiting with the family, you'll find the Fun Zone in the North Wing. This space is filled with arcade games and ticket redemption opportunities for kids of all ages. Plus, out in the hallway are additional family-friendly attractions. For tennis players, they've even got a half a dozen courts up on the 3rd floor rooftop. And of course, there's always the shops. If you saw our video last week from the Wynn, you know how we love a hallway. And here at the Westgate, both the North Wing and the East Wing offer plenty of opportunity to buy yourself a present while you're on holiday.
All right, my friends, quick story about that t-shirt. There was a proprietor of one of the shops across from me when I was filming that, and she burst out laughing because she saw that I was heading right for that t-shirt. Anyway, couldn't resist. It was so cute. Two things we want to say in terms of thanks with regard to researching this project.
Let me start right here. This is a program, an actual program from Elvis's concert at the Hilton. This was given to me by our good friends, the Tuckers. They find this stuff all over the place and they send it to me and give it to me. I don't know why, but they do. But they gave me all kinds of stuff from the Hilton. But this is just an unbelievably priceless program
in excellent condition.
Yeah, from Elvis's performances. Just amazing. Thanks so much, Jeff Tucker. He's the one who found this. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And our second thank you goes to our friend Kathleen Manley over in Virginia. She is our ex-showgirl friend that worked at the Tropicana and Bally's and I don't know what all. I think the Stardust as well. She gifted us this book recently. It is the definitive book about Elvis's time in Vegas, but not only that, all the entertainers that made this town so great. It's a fabulous history. Thank you, Kathleen. We referred to it and we used some photos out of it as well.
So, the Westgate Hotel and Casino, of course, it's a timeshare, but you can also rent a room in there. It's an amazing place. They've kept it up. They've kept the history in there. I'm very happy that they did keep the history, especially those chandeliers. They're amazing. Everything
about that crystal, it just dazzles. Yeah, it did from day one. It still does.
What I want to know is who cleans all that?
Somebody.
Somebody's got to get up there and clean that every once in a while. Anyway, it was just a beautiful, beautiful walkthrough. And of course, you had a nice breakfast too.
I did, and great service.
Yeah, that lady, she came home and told me this lady was unbelievable. That
Marie. Big thumbs up, Marie at Sid's.
All right. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button. Anything else you want to tell these nice people? Miss Paula.
Yes, actually. A few people have asked about the suite that Elvis lived in at the top of the Hilton when he was there. It was a 5,000 square foot suite. From what we see in our research, it was demolished in the 1990s to make room for their sky villas, so it no longer exists. But have you heard about the theme suites at the Westgate? Who has stayed in one?
Yeah, let us know because we're going to do it.
We're going to do it. All right, if you look at this Scottish plaid one, it might be a bit much, but the cowboy suite is right up our alley.
All right, hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.